Good afternoon, East Texas. If you step outside right now, or even if you're at home, you see just how stormy it is outside. We have lots of cloud cover in the sky. That thunder is coming through. You can hear it throughout most of the area right now. So it is a very rainy day for you before you head into that weekend. We are still sitting in those upper 60s and 70s in most of the area. So we're at 69 over in Mineola and Gilmer, 70 degrees in Longview and Tyler, 71 in Henderson, 68 over in Jacksonville. So it is pretty stormy out there right now, as you can see. And if you step outside right now, you can see for yourself. So our severe outlook for this evening, we are still isolated in places like Tyler, Longview, Athens, Canton, Jefferson, and Marshall. And then you're going to be a little bit more scattered towards deep East Texas. Those places down in deep East Texas, you guys are going to get the brunt of those storms rolling through today. So you'll start to see those soon, and I will give you the timing coming up here in a minute. Our weather impact alert is today. We do have this afternoon into this evening severe storms throughout most of the area, so make sure that you are staying weather aware, staying safe. We'll be streaming here a few times before our 5 p.m. show, as well as we'll be on at 6 and 10 this evening. Those storms should roll out by 10 p.m. this evening, but we're going to keep track of that here for you. We have 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 1-inch diameter hail possible in some of the area as well. Not likely, but it is on the docket. So the next few days for you are looking much nicer once you kind of get away from the stormy day. Saturday, 57 degrees, Sunday, 59. So along with those storms, we have that cold front rolling through, which is going to drop those temperatures. And then Monday, you're going to be at 60 degrees, and Tuesday, 64 degrees with mostly sunny skies. So after we get through this rain today, you will have a pretty dry rest of your week. So let's take a look at that live radar. You can see those storms starting to roll through. We have a few little severe sections that we're tracking over here in Tyler. You definitely can hear it if you're sitting inside. And then we also have another little area down in deep East Texas as well. So those are going to start to move through the next hour, and then we'll have another little section coming through a little bit later this evening. So in deep East Texas, that's where you're really going to see most of that storm energy rolling through, which we will show you coming up here. Right now it's 70 degrees out here in Tyler. It's pretty cloudy outside and very wet on those roads and very thundery as well. The next 6 hours, you're going to be in those upper 60s, then move down to those lower 60s come 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m. So after 8 p.m., you should start to see most of those storms kind of die off and taper off definitely throughout most of the area, except in deep East Texas. And then you'll see that cloud cover come back at 9 p.m. at 60 degrees. So that storm energy, 5 p.m., we're going to be weak to moderate in most of the area, and then kind of more down in deep East Texas, that's where you're going to start to see more of that moderate storm energy at 5 p.m. But in places like Longview, Jefferson, and Gilmer, you still will have that weak storm energy in the area. And then at 7 p.m., that storm energy is going to start to die off, so you won't have as much, but you still might be weak in some of the area in places like Jefferson, Lufkin, and Nacogdoches, as well as Hemphill. And then down in deep East Texas, you will start to see that moderate storm energy just kind of on the line there. All the way into 8:45 tonight, it's really going to just start to die off throughout the evening, so nothing to worry about. Come 10 p.m. this evening, we'll start to see all of those storms really leave the area and move into Louisiana, but we are, of course, keeping an eye on that for you here. And then all the way into Saturday morning, that storm energy will be completely gone from the area. Tonight, the tornado potential is very, very low, really 2% chance. We're not expecting anything, but we, of course, are going to keep you updated and keep track of that. It is very low in most of the area, though, so really in deep East Texas, you guys are the only ones who would really ever have to deal with anything, but we are keeping it very low, and we are keeping track of that as well for you. Your wind threat as well is very low in places like Jacksonville, Henderson, Palestine, and then we are low in places like Nacogdoches, Lufkin, Center, Hemphill, and Crockett. So wind as well is staying pretty light, and I will show you those overnight winds coming up, as well as hail. You're staying very low in Tyler area, and then down in Lufkin and Crockett, you might see hail, but again, that hail threat is very low. Your drought conditions, we definitely need this rain in the area. We are abnormal, moderate, and severe in most of the area. So we are abnormal over in Tyler, Longview, Henderson, Jefferson. And then we are moderate over in Nacogdoches, Lufkin, St. Augustine, Mount Pleasant, and Sulphur Springs. And then parts of Marshall and Carthage, we are severe. But after that rain rolls through today, those conditions will hopefully lessen. Our future wind gusts, so 5 p.m. this evening, as you can see, as that storm starts to roll through places like Palestine and Jacksonville, Henderson and Longview, as well as Marshall and Carthage, you'll see those winds start to increase a little bit. So as that storm starts to roll through, you'll see those increase in numbers, and then all the way into tomorrow. And then tomorrow we will have a pretty windy day as well, so make sure that you are staying aware of that. We're still going to be in those upper 20s throughout most of the area, so 26 miles per hour in Henderson, 27 miles per hour over in Jacksonville and Athens as well, 29 miles per hour in Palestine. So a windy Saturday is on the docket for you all the way throughout the afternoon, and it will start to die down in the evening. 5 p.m. you still will see it in the area, but then by the evening time it really should die down, except for deep East Texas. You will still see a little bit of that. Let's take a look at future skycasts. So we have in Henderson and Jacksonville, you'll start to see at 4 p.m. you'll see those scattered thunderstorms throughout the area, as well as Athens and Tyler. So we have that here in Tyler right now. You can definitely hear it in the area, and then you'll also see that near Center and St. Augustine. So you are definitely seeing that right now in those low 70s in most of the area. All the way into 5:30 p.m. you'll really just start to see that near Lufkin, Nacogdoches, Center, St. Augustine. You'll see that in most of the area. You'll just see some rain start to move through the area once those storm systems start to move through. All the way into Friday evening, you'll really just see that in deep East Texas. Also, it will really start to move out of the area in Marshall, Jefferson, Carthage, and Center as well. All the way into Friday 8:30 p.m. you're really going to start to see most of those storms roll through the area, and we should only just see in deep East Texas those storms just moving through. So the threat really should be over by then. All the way overnight, you'll just see some cloud cover into Saturday morning for you. Your severe potential, so 5 p.m. really you'll only see that near Henderson, Jacksonville, and then a few parts of deep East Texas like Lufkin and Hempville. So that's the severe potential. It's going to be low though, so nothing too crazy to worry about. All the way into 7 p.m. you're going to see that in Center and Hempville, as well as parts of Henderson in there as well. And then that by 9 p.m. that severe potential will start to move out of the area, so you should be good to go for the rest of your evening when those thunderstorms start to roll out as well at around 8:30. Your tornado parameters are there's really nothing. So we saw a little bit of low potential in a few spots earlier today, and now that is completely gone. So that is good news for you. Really no tornado parameters there to look out for. Your rainfall potential, we definitely do need it Friday here today. So we do have, of course, make sure that if you are in these areas with high rainfall that you are keeping aware of that, because of course there's always the potential for flooding. Nearly 2.5 inches near Center. And then other than that, really, you're not getting too much, nearly 1/2 inch over near Marshall as well. So nothing to worry about other than if you're in Center, Nacogdoches. Parts of Lufkin, deep East Texas is more where you're going to get that higher rainfall because you guys have more of the storms coming your way as well. So until 10 p.m., that's when that weather impact alert is in effect. So come 10 p.m. this evening, we really won't need to worry about that until after 10 p.m. A little bit before 10 p.m. is when those storms are really starting to move out of the area. Deep East Texas, of course, you guys will always still need to worry about that a little bit later into the evening. But other than that, that is until 10 p.m. The impact, wind and hail are still on the docket. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are on the docket within those thunderstorms, hail as well in deep East Texas. And then make sure that you have your CBS19 app downloaded so we can keep you weather aware, keep you safe, and keep you updated with the latest information. We'll be streaming here a few more times this evening, and then stay inside if you have the opportunity because it is very rainy out there. It could get gusty at times as well. Today, so 8 a.m. we were at 45 degrees, and then all the way into 2 p.m. this evening, for tomorrow. And then Saturday, 57 degrees. Sunday, you're going to be at 59, 60 degrees for your Monday. Tuesday, 64, as well as Wednesday, 55 degrees for your Thursday, and 61 degrees for your Friday. So we have some nicer temperatures coming up. I will pull up the radar once again so we can go over that. So currently outside, once again, it's still raining out here in Tyler. This is our Tyler camera, and we are in those 60s and 70s in most of the area. So we still have that severe outlook that should update soon here, but we're still looking to be scattered in deep East Texas, isolated in Athens, Tyler, Longview, Marshall, Jefferson, Gilmer, Mineola, and Canton. So we are keeping an eye on that, but really you are just isolated in most of the area, scattered in deep East Texas. Your weather impact alert this afternoon, we still do have those severe storms all the way into this evening at 10 p.m. So we are keeping an eye on that here at CBS 19, and make sure that you have that app downloaded so we can keep you weather aware and keep you safe. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible when those storms come through the area. 1-inch diameter hail is also on the docket, but not likely. But we, of course, will keep you updated if you are in that area with those possibilities. The next 4 days, so we do have that cold front rolling through with those storm chances today and those thunderstorms. You're going to be in those 50s for Saturday and Sunday, and then come Monday and Tuesday, you'll be in those 60s. So we do have a cool down coming after we get through this stormy day today. So as you can see here, we still do have those storms coming through on our CBS 19 live radar. We see those coming through Tyler, Athens right now, as well as deep East Texas. So we're keeping an eye on that as those storms start to roll through the area. If you're in places kind of near Jacksonville and Henderson, you won't start to see those maybe until a little bit later, which I will show you coming up on future Skycast. But in deep East Texas, you will start to see those thunderstorms roll through the area all evening long until 10 p.m. You guys do have the highest chance and the strongest storm energy down there, but nothing too severe. Right now it's 70 degrees, very cloudy skies out there, as well as the rain is still coming down. We do have light winds, which is good news, but as those thunderstorms start to roll through, you may start to see the 60-mile-per-hour winds within that storm. The next 6 hours, you're still going to be in those upper 60s until 6 p.m. You'll drop down to 63 degrees, 62 degrees at 7 p.m. and then you'll be in those 60s for 8 and 9 p.m. So you do have some more pleasant temperatures coming your way, but cooler temperatures come 8 p.m. and then you'll drop into those 50s overnight. So that's storm energy 5 p.m. So still near Longview and Jefferson, you're going to have that moderate storm energy as well as parts of deep East Texas. And then you're going to be pretty weak other than that in Gilmer and parts of Jefferson, Mount Pleasant, Nacogdoches. All the way into a little bit later in the evening, that storm energy is really going to start to diminish. So you'll see that storm energy weaken up near Jefferson as well as in deep East Texas near Lovekin and Hemphill, all the way into overnight temperatures. When those temperatures drop, that storm energy is going to subside. Our tornado potential is still very low in the area, so there's really nothing to worry about, but we're keeping an eye on that for you in deep East Texas. It's going to be very low in places like Lovekin and Crockett and Hemphill, but we of course cannot rule it out. It's a 2% tornado potential. And then our wind threat as well, we're going to be pretty low in places like Nacogdoches, Lovekin, Crockett, and Center, and then we're going to be very low in Palestine, Jacksonville, and Henderson as well. So make sure that you're keeping an eye on that with those winds, but those winds out there right now into this evening are looking to be pretty calm, which is good news for you. And then our hail threat, we still do have a very low hail threat in places like Tyler, and then in deep East Texas, you're going to have a lower threat, but we are keeping an eye on deep East Texas, especially as those storms start to roll through the area. And then this is good news that we're getting that rain because our drought conditions are still abnormal, moderate, and severe in most of the area. So we are going to be moderate in places like Nacogdoches, Lovekin, St. Augustine, and Center. And then we're going to be severe in Carthage and Marshall, And then we're going to be abnormal in Tyler, Canton, Athens, Longview, Jefferson, Linden. So it's very good that we're getting that rain in the area. Our future winds, they're going to stay pretty calm this evening, but as you can see, when that storm starts to roll through, you'll have a little bit of gustier winds in the area. So 24 miles per hour in Palestine, 14 miles per hour in Jacksonville, 19 miles per hour over in Henderson as those storms roll through the area all the way into overnight. So 7 a.m. That's when you're going to start to see those heavier winds. Once those storms are out of the area, you're going to be in those upper 20s tomorrow at 7 and 2 p.m. as well. You're going to be in those upper 20s pretty much all day long until about 5 p.m. Then they're going to start to drop just a little bit, and then you will be done by 10 p.m. That's when those winds are really going to move out of the area. You'll just see some 20s down in deep East Texas. And then our future skycast. So 4 p.m. if you step outside in Henderson right now, Tyler even, you can see it, Center and St. Augustine, you will see that rain in the area. Henderson, it's pretty strong right now, and then deep East Texas is really going to start to experience that throughout the evening tonight. So you'll see that in Lufkin, Nacogdoches, St. Augustine, and Center. You'll see those storms roll through, as well as in Henderson, Marshall, Carthage, St. Augustine, Lufkin, and Nacogdoches. So you'll just kind of see those all night. 8:30 is when they'll start to move out of the area, but that weather impact alert is in effect until 10 p.m. because as you can see, we'll still have some of that rain kind of in the area, but it will start to move out come this evening, and then we'll have that cloud cover to follow in those upper 50s and 60s in most of the area. Our severe potential, so 5 p.m., you'll see it's going to be low in pretty much Lufkin, Hemphill, Groveton, as well as in Henderson and Jacksonville. You'll see those low severe potentials, and then that will start to move out as the evening progresses, and then it will move out of the area overnight into 9 p.m. And then when those storms move out of the area, that severe potential will as well, but we are going to be low for the remainder of the evening, which is also good news. And as I talked about earlier, this morning we saw that we had maybe a few tornado low parameters pop up, but right now we are looking to be a-okay there, which is also good news for you. We do need that rain, as we talked about the drought conditions earlier. So there, of course, with more rain comes the potential for flash flooding. So make sure that you are staying aware if you are in places like Center, Nacogdoches, maybe even St. Augustine, Lufkin. You guys could get around an inch, half an inch, and maybe even 2.5 inches in Center, 1 3/4 inches near Nacogdoches. So make sure that you're staying aware of that because there's always that potential for flash flooding. So until 10 p.m., that's when that weather impact alert is in effect till the impact will be wind and hail in most of the area. So 60-mile-per-hour winds coming along with those thunderstorms, as well as maybe some hail in the area. And then make sure that you have your CBS19 app available because we will keep you weather aware, keep you safe. We will be posting as well as doing more streaming. And then make sure that if you can, stay inside because it is going to be wet on those roads, and it's also pretty blustery and rainy out there. So for tomorrow, 8 a.m., 45 degrees. So you're going to have much cooler temperatures tomorrow. 11 a.m., you're going to be at 48 degrees, and then 2 p.m., 53 degrees. And then our 7-day forecast. So we do have that cold front rolling through with those rain chances, dropping those temperatures into those upper 60s. For the rest of your week, upper 50s for this weekend, 60 degrees on your Monday, and then 64 Tuesday, Wednesday, 55 degrees on your Thursday, and 61 on your Friday. And we will be back here streaming once again soon, and we will keep you updated coming up.